You want to know something funny? I've been talking for the past 3 minutes without having the microphone connected. So, so I find out that I'm talking to myself, to the air, I guess. With so much care and passion, I started to produce this for you. Then I realized the actual microphone that I like, that makes a good quality of sound, is not connected. So it would be recording, but not to the quality that I wanted. And I hate to repeat things, but looks like I will have to. So, okay. All right. Uh, I hear, I hear laughter is good for you, but sometimes you just can't stop it because you kind of feel so, so genuinely you were trying to have a conversation, and then you realized you have to repeat it. Anyhow, hello everyone. I hope you're all doing well. And give me a moment. It reminds me of the Austin Power movie when he started laughing, you are, and until the laughter finishes, but mine doesn't seem to finish. Okay, that was good. I'm warm. Okay. V has written back to me and explained to me that after I made that production for him and for Jennifer, for all of us to enjoy, a couple of days ago, explaining to him that he can, since he is depressed and missing his wife having left him, and he can maybe try when he's ready with another lady, and to give it time and create memories, and then, would give him happiness, and again a place where he would be comfortable and happy. And he has written back to me telling me that he's still depressed, and the fact that things are not the way it was, like now he goes to his son once in a while, goes and takes his son to a movie, and then after that he realizes that his son has to go to his mom, and he got to go to his home, and then he feels lonely, and he doesn't like the way the things are not the way it used to be. And the interactions and all that, so forth. And so he's depressed and feels lonely. Well, I understand that. So what I'm going to say here as a response to him is going to be very interesting, I think, for everyone, because this is not really just for him. This is, in general, a very, very good way of observing and understanding some of the things that we are all about. So bear with me and pay attention. V, I understand what you've written me. I understand what you're saying, and I understand that you're sad and depressed, that the things are not the way it used to be. And before we understand what is happening with you, I think we got to step out a little bit out of what you right now, for a moment, what you're now saying, and follow the train of thought that I'm going to introduce to you right now. Then we'll see if that is really what is happening. So let's see, what is it that we're really missing? That is, I think, the question. And just bear with me. Just follow me. We have learned through our life, we've gained experiences and knowledge through those experiences, and knowledge through other things in life that has happened that we got to know about it, other people did, or other events and whatnot. So all those experiences, knowledge, turns into memory. And memory in our life is the only thing, as far as I'm concerned, as far as I know, that has continuity. It continues on. It has flow, other actions, other experiences, other knowledge, then more memory, and so on. So continuation, continuity. And this continuity, which none of the information, none of the memory really in reality exists anymore, it's all dead. But this continuity has created the entity as we know and call it me. Me is made out of all these continuation and continuity of the memories that we have collected through our life. The society that we were raised in, the school we went in, the people we met, the sports we've done, the activities we've done, the job we had, the schools we went to, the things that we learned, experiences. Then we got married or didn't have a relationship, have a child. All these interactions have created what we call me. We identify ourselves with all these that is in our memory. So we are made out of a bunch of memory. These memories have created that identity, that what we call me. So we are programmed to identify ourselves and our existence, our validity, by these memories, and we call it me. Now, you're accustomed to this whole continuation of this memory, to identifying yourself with all these memories. Now, suddenly something changes. The path of continuation of all these memories, it doesn't continue along the line of the story that was coming in. Now you got to from all your childhood and all the things you did, you got to the marriage point, you got to the child point, you got to the interaction, taking the child to school and coming home or whatever. This is now the path of your reality, or which is your identity, not your reality, path of your identity, and you expect it to continue in the same line of story. You identify with this story and you expect it naturally to continue in the same line of story and experiences. But something changes now. You break up. You break up and your wife, or somehow you or your wife, whoever you are watching this, don't want to be together, and then suddenly something changes. Now, what are you missing here? What is it that you feel you're missing here? Is it really you're missing your son or your wife? Because I lost my dad 3 years ago or so, and I can say I miss him because I have no way that is known to me to contact with him, to connect with him. I miss him. I cannot see him ever, as far as I know. So then I can say, things are not the same. I miss him. Yeah? Things are not the same. So my identity from when I had my father and things I would do with him and the effects he would have on my life and all these other interactions is now changed. You, in your case, in your particular case, I don't know what other people's cases are when they're watching this, but in your particular case, you say you miss your son and you're sad and depressed that it's not the same. But you can't say that you don't have any access to him. So things are not really as bad as if we really miss someone because he's not there, he or she is not in this world anymore, like my father is not. So it's a different level, right? So it's still manageable. So it's still very happy that you can see him, right? You have that. So now let's focus on then, what is it that you're missing? Because you have access to your son. It's not like, God forbid, he's not there anymore. You can see him, interact with him in a less, maybe not 24-hour day, in a less, which is fine for you. You have time to attend to your own life and your own things, which you would have many times. Your son maybe is in home, but you're doing your own thing, but it's just there. So you're used to that kind of a situation, right? That's what you're used to. You identify yourself with that kind of a situation, set up, and the memory. But he's around. It's not like he doesn't exist anymore, right? Okay. So you can't really say, oh, I miss him because he's not there anymore. I have no access. No, like my father. So then let's focus on, what is it that you're missing? Can you think about it? It's my question to you right now. What is it that you're missing? Because nothing really drastically has changed. It's changed, but not devastating and drastically in the form of that my father is not in this world anymore. Some of us who are watching this have some loved one who's not in this world anymore. So it's not that extreme, right? So then, why is it so devastating to you? What is it that really scares you? What is it that makes you depressed? Think about it for a second. You see, from all these memories that I told you about at the beginning of the conversation of this video, we have this sense of these experiences and knowledge and the memory and so on, and we say that is what we identify with and creates the entity called the identification of the word me. What me is. What me is continuation of all these memories, accumulation of all these memories through our life, and whenever we think of ourselves, we say me, we know ourselves through all these memories, all these happenings that we have accumulated, recorded here. That's our identity. That's how we see ourselves. Now, if something changes here, that this continuation does not follow the same path that we expected it to, and it goes in a different path, or branches off in a way, of different story, different scenario, like you break up with your wife and whatnot, or somebody's loved one dies or something. So what happened? Suddenly, that identity that created security in us by letting us know who me is, what me is, because knowing something creates security. So knowing the fact who we are through all these memories and collective and continuation of all these things through our life, we know what me is, and that knowing what me is and all those memories gives us a sense of security. We know everything, our boundaries, who we are, what we've done, all these memories, and so created us, and then it's me, and then I feel secure, but by knowing I'm center of what, all these memories around me and so forth. So I feel secure by knowing all these things. Now, suddenly something changes, like the divorce or death of someone or so on. So the continuation of what we have thought that is continuing in that line changes, takes a different route, branches out. So what is happening? What is happening here? My identity seems to be having a little deviation. Like, I don't see myself in this new episode, a new branch. Yeah? So what I'm missing really, a hiccup in on my travel on the road, that it was familiar to me. Me, was made out of all these things. Now suddenly things change. I don't see myself as the continuation of my memory. I'm not used to it yet, so I don't feel secure. So I'm really missing me as it was interpreted before this breakup. Because I was somebody that was very clear to me who I was. All those memories, and then my son and my wife and all that, so forth. And now they're not there, so suddenly I'm having a little bit of an identity problem. Who am I now? I'm used to knowing myself as this person with all these memories, and which big part of this memory was my wife and my son and all the interactions that every day in school and this and that, so forth, arguments, whatever it was that we were doing. But now suddenly, that what I was identifying the word me with is no longer. I can't identify myself with that. So I'm kind of lost. Where am I? What is me? What happened to me? Me is changed a little bit, or I have to get used to it. So me is not really defined for me 100% as it was just a short while ago, and I don't feel secure. I miss me. I miss the picture, the memory of how me was put together. Even though what I identified me with and brought security to me, that whole memory and all that which was recorded here, which that's told me who me is, it was all illusion, because it didn't exist. It was gone. It was dead. It was finished. It was a memory. No reality to it. It was all in the past. So I identified me, myself, with all these things that didn't exist anymore. It was all in the past, all memories. But that's how I identified myself. But now that something new has happened, I'm not used to seeing myself as this new memory that creates, shapes, changes the shape of the old me. I don't recognize that me as it is right now with this new development, new change, as I used to know exactly what me was. So it's a little bit of a turbulence. And that's what really messing you up right now. That's what really creating that insecurity, which you think you're depressed because you miss them. They're still there. They're alive in this world. You have access to them. So nothing really too drastic like a death of family has happened. So what is it that really makes you, gives you a reason, really, a reasonable reason to be feeling depressed or out of place or insecure? It's not the fact that they are just a little bit, few blocks away from you physically or not with you all the time. It's the fact that you find an insecurity and turbulence in how you used to know the word, the existence, entity of me, yourself. You now have to understand that you gotta get used to this new role, new way of seeing me. Now the new me, this me, is the one who has less of that interaction with someone or whatever. But with your son, the interaction is going to be there, no problem. It's just that it's not the way you used to and would have liked it or were used to. It's not that there's anything bad about it. It's just that you're not used to. It's like a new thing. I'm making it simplified, but that's really the message. So, think about what I said. What you're missing is me. Not me. You me. What you're missing is you. The word me. How it was, how you remembered it to be, how you were used to see it, to know it. Now it's now a little bit deviation of the old me. With all those memories. All those memories are still there. Well, they were still dead when you guys were together. All those memories that made me, made you, was already dead. There was not existence. It was an illusion. It was just a memory. It was a recording, anyhow. And still, the same things are here as a recording. They're still dead, not living. So not much has changed there. It's just that you're right now seeing the way it was is a little changed, and your me has a little bit of a alteration to it, and you're not used to that. You feel insecure because it's new picture. It's like you just put a new clothes on. You don't even know yourself a little bit. I don't recognize myself in this clothes. Pretty much like that, or in this role. It's a new role, so you got to get used to know yourself, the me, as a person who's divorced, has a son, or still the same man, is going to do his best for his life and his son's life, and to be courteous and nice and kind to the people that he loves, in ex-wife or whatever, doesn't matter. So until you get used to that new me, you will feel I'm missing something, or you feel the insecurity of it, and all and so forth. So, not to make the long story short, or not to make the short story long, either way, how to talk more than I should. Ponder on this and focus on this and get used to your new recognition of me in the way things are and the way that you can shape things as they go along. New actions, new experiences, new knowledge, new memory, and then you will find yourself in that new scenario, and you will get used to the new me, and nothing really as drastic as you think. These things are not as drastic as you think. Many of us, gone through it one way or the other, and it'll all be okay as long as you realize things don't always have to be exactly as it always was, or it was in your memory. Things can change. This is the world that, in the universe, that everything changes. So you can't really expect things to remain as you remember them, because then that wouldn't be the universe that we're living in. Everything changes. So get used to this change. It's really not that drastic. Understand your new me and create that new sense of security by recognizing, getting used to this new me, and don't treat it like it's a disaster of the world. If you compare what's happening around the world, then you'll know what disaster are. Disaster, all kinds of disaster happening around the world with people. Unfair, wars, killings. Please, put things in perspective. Count your stars. Count your blessings. And that's not a religious sentence. I'm not religious. But, I mean, count your blessings as the things that are good in your life, and compare it to the things that are not good at all for lots of people around this world. Unfairness and destructions and all that you know. Look at the news today, see who's doing what to who, and you will see that, wow, what kind of life we have in here, security and safety and so on. So go on, think about all these things and get used to your new me, and I'll be okay. Ponder on this for a bit, and hope to talk to you soon.